Well, happy Tuesday evening to you. Chris Hare here, the Crypto Cowboy. I am a multiple-time world champion rodeo cowboy, and I'm taking the things that I've learned out in that arena, out just outside my house, bringing them in here to the crypto desk and making you guys world champion crypto traders. But yeah, we're going to do our Bitcoin and Ethereum video tonight, the same one we do every single night. So go ahead and like the channel and subscribe and make sure you're getting access to those. And if you hit that bell notification, you'll get this video as soon as it drops. But we'll get on into Bitcoin and Ethereum. We'll start off with the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. This measures market sentiment. So what we can see is everybody's still scared. We're in 33. I think that's up from yesterday. We were at a 30. And last week we were around neutral. So it's just kind of waffling along. Been a choppy day today. Not a lot to trade. Kind of tried to take some longs and they didn't work out. It just wasn't as strong as I thought it would be. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but that's where risk management comes in. And we'll talk about that at the end of the video. So stick around for that. But every time you can see we've dropped into fear, they're usually pretty good opportunities to buy. That you hit fear, you come out of it. You hit fear, you come out of it. Back in March and April were the best times because we were in extreme fear and we absolutely launched out of there. But we're back down in fear. Where are we going from here? The charts will break that down. I've got some weekly charts out and they're kind of interesting because we've got some long-term targets and they kind of prove the theory that this bull run's not quite over yet, guys, but we'll break that down. But alt season doesn't look great right now. We're currently in a 25 in Bitcoin season. And so what happens here is Bitcoin's driving the boat. Alts will follow. Whenever Bitcoin goes up, alts go up with it, usually a little less. But when Bitcoin goes down, they absolutely tank. So that's kind of where we are tonight. Not a real good time for altcoins right now. But we'll go into a Bitcoin liquidation heat map. I left it on the 24-hour tonight so we can see exactly what's going on. This is what the market makers look at. So they track liquidity and they can see all of your liquidations on your short trades or your long trades, and they can see all your liquidations on your long trades. So what they do is they chase after these broader pockets of liquidity, and you can see we haven't moved much today. So everybody's piled in long, everybody's piled in short. Nobody really knows where we're going. It's just a guess. You might as well take whatever you're going to put into a trade right now, take it to the casino, pull the handle on the slot machine because you're going to get about the same outcome. But we've got cumulatively about $618 million of long liquidations to the downside, down to about 104,000. If we go up, 115,860, we've got about 750 million. So there's more shorts than longs. So we got to keep that in mind. I'm real interested in this vacant lot of liquidity right here about 108. I feel like if we can settle in here, there may be an opportunity for some more upside, but I'm going to warn you guys tonight, the upside I think is temporary. I still think we've got a bigger move coming down. So I don't want you to get too much hope that we're back yet. I'm not confident in that, but we're going to come back if that makes sense. So we'll start off with a Bitcoin 4-hour chart. You can see for the second or third time in a row, we've tried to break out of these 50 moving averages. So the white line's a simple moving average, or is a smooth moving average. The yellow is a simple moving average. I've been running both right now to try to figure out where our rejection points are. But what these do on different algorithms is they take 50 of these candles and they create a fluid line on the chart, and that works as excellent support and resistance. You can see the 200s up here, so we're not at play with that, but we've rejected this 53 different times now. This will make the third time. So I'm not confident in what happens next. You can clearly see we're going down. I feel like we're either going to do one of two things. We're going to stop out here at about 108,000 because like on the liquidation chart, we saw there was a void there. And this is a pretty strong support or resistance that we flipped into support. You can see it back in previous times. It worked as strong support here. It worked as strong support back. But well, like I said, we flipped it from resistance to support. So there is a possibility we bounce here, maybe go up and try to catch this golden zone up to the top side. You've got a couple of hurdles to get there. You've got the daily moving average sitting at about 112,000. You've got the 4-hour 200 sitting at about 113.8. And then you've got two bearish fair value gaps sitting up here starting at 117. So there's a lot of resistance. We're testing out some old supports. So I'm kind of watching that. Like I said, 108,000 If we can bounce there, we'll probably go up and test this a little more. Same thing when we get down into this golden zone. I'm kind of interested here, and I'm not confident if we're going to go ahead and run up and just set a lower high, or if we're going to go ahead and extend and try to get up here. So those are my concerns for the night. I want you guys to use caution, especially in long trades. I'm not real confident on upside movement, but I'm not real confident in downside movement either. One of those places I kind of like to sit out, let everything settle, and figure out where we're going to go. But if you go out to the daily chart, we've been in this whole corrective move since way back in August, really before that in July when we hit all-time high the first time. And now we've had that big move off the top. And, you know, we'll get out to a weekly chart here in a minute, but these are bigger than daily corrections. A daily correction would have probably been this ABC over here. But these are weekly, so they're going to go much, much deeper than the normal daily correction. I think that's why everybody's freaking out. And it is concerning, but, you know, I don't think all hope is lost. And when we get into the weekly, I'm going to show you that. So right now, the daily charts have rejected about 111,000, which was kind of expected if we weren't going to run up. We're still below that daily 50, so as long as we're below daily 50 moving averages, we're bearish. When we get above them, we're bullish. And the trend is your friend, guys. Until we've seen some kind of significant trend, a lot of times 3 candles make a trend, but you can see this 4th one's already coming back. So the question is, do we come down tonight and test this and bounce out and put in four green candles? Because then we're definitely bullish, and we're probably going to break above this 50 moving average. But if we come back down and settle in this golden zone, bounce around, that's where I'm going to have some concerns. If we lose 103,000, our next targets are going to be around 98,000. We lose that, we're headed down to the depths, guys, 90,000 to 80,000. You can see this trend line here. I really feel like it's looking for that. We're going to bounce off of it. So if you drew an angle down here, you know, 90 to 100,000 looks pretty nice to me, but you can't rule out this $90,000 range. I've screamed 88,000 since we hit the all-time high the first time. And it's kind of playing out. The back of my mind says that's really where we're going to end up. But let's go out to a weekly chart because I want to show you this. All hope isn't lost. So you can see back since about July and August, we've kind of formed this pennant. And it's a bullish pennant. When they go up, they're bullish. When they go down, they're bearish. Or I'm sorry, let's go down. It's bullish until we fall out of it, okay? But you can see we started this pennant way back in October and November when we ran up the first time. And we've kind of stayed in it, but it follows a trend. And what these things do is they kind of narrow up as you get towards the top, and they like to fill out about 70% of them. 70% puts us around 217,000. Do I think we make it there? Time's really going to tell. It really depends on where we end up here. But I don't think all hope is lost. If you can see, we're still inside that pennant. We've kind of been riding the top side of it, but we're starting to fall down. The weekly 50 sits at around 102,000 right now. That's the simple moving average. The weekly smooth sits around 84,000. Technically, we could bounce off of this 50. We've done it every single time. So maybe we're getting close to a bottom at about 102, 103,000, maybe around 100. But if we lose it, we've got another means of support, which is the weekly golden zone and the 50 smooth moving average. And they're sitting right between $85,000 and $94,000. So I don't think all hope is lost. I think we have a really good opportunity to bounce there. I'm pretty confident in that. And once we do, I mean, your targets are looking at 118,000 on up to about 138,000. We'll probably have some kind of retest then and finish out. But I don't think you can rule out 150 to 200,000 this cycle, guys. But after looking at this, I'm becoming a little more optimistic. But that gives you an idea on Bitcoin, where we're at tonight into the next few days. We're going to go on over to Ethereum. We're going to cover over the liquidation heat map real quick. Same thing, 24-hour. We're kind of watching the move here close. Got liquidations to the bottom side, about 170 million, down to about $3,850. And then you can see they're kind of gone. We came down and grabbed some liquidity here. It looks like it's kind of wanting to drive up a little bit. But we've got 316 million of shorts to the top side. So it's just a battle right now. Sideways moving. Those pockets there, we're probably about to run after them. Or we may grab these. It's just kind of a hurry up, wait and see. But let's get into the charts. Let's figure out what's going on. We'll start off with the 4 hour, just like we did on Bitcoin. Kind of gives us a closer idea in the here and now. what's going on. You can see we tried to break out of that 4-hour golden zone. We broke out of the 50 simple moving average, but we rejected the 50 smooth. That's the third time we've done that there. That's why I'm a little cautious on upside here. We're kind of falling back in. We've got a golden zone here at about $3,800 to $3,760. There's another really strong means of support right around $3,888. So there's one or two options here. We grab these and we bounce. We go ahead and test out the channel. If we break out of this channel into the 4-hour golden zone at about $4,500 and we don't keep going, when you drop back into these, just like on Friday when we had, you know, that weekend into that Friday, we went out of this, we retested it, failed the retest, and then we dropped all the way to the bottom of the channel. So we really need to be cautious if we get in this area, get rejected, get thrown back in this channel. I have some questions and concerns about how quick we would go to the bottom. But it's a wait and see here. We're either going to bounce at 3,900. There's an opportunity at 3,700. So you can see there's a lot of lines of support there that may give us a little relief to the upside. But I want you to be cautious. We've also got the 50 moving average that's resistance. We've got a 200 here that's more resistance, and then we've got the top of this channel in the 618. So there's a lot of resistance both ways. There's a lot of resistance to the upside. There's a lot of support to the downside. We have lost the daily 50 moving average on the smooth. That's bearish. So that's where I'm at with these right now. If we do go on out to the daily, figure out where we're going in a further longer term, I'm going to bring something to your attention here, and I should have brought it up on Bitcoin too. These little dots are what we call moon phases. So the white dot is the full moon. The blue dot is the new moon. My buddy Leisurefish loves these things. He's got it down to an art of when they print and what's the significance of it. 80 to 90% of the time, these are right. So you can see when these full moons print, we have a move to the upside. When the new moon prints, which printed today, we have another significant move to the downside. Same with going up. You can see a pattern here. New moon up, or full moon up, new moon down. This one was kind of weird, but we did get a little bit of upside before we had the big dump. But now we've got a new moon and we're headed down already. That's my concern. I don't know if you take it serious or not, but it's consistent enough that I pay attention. Let's put it that way. But we're falling back down into this golden zone here. That was on the 4-hour. We talked about that. If we lose this, your daily golden zone down here right around $2,900, $3,200 to $2,700. If for some reason we can find support, we get over this daily 50 smooth moving average. You know, we've got the 50 simple moving average at $4,200, and then your golden zone's at $4,500. You can see I've also got trend lines down here. I really think that's where we're going longer term. We may have a brief short-term bounce here, but that's about it. But we're going to look at Ethereum because I see the same thing. Our weekly target, the 50s are right down here, right around $3,000 to $2,900. That's also the bottom of this channel. So it could be another couple of weeks before we get down here, and we may do it in a week. It's really hard to say. But I feel like once we get to this area, we've got some support to work with. Even if we drop down to $2,700 to $2,100, you can see we did that back in the horrible dump back at the first of the year. So I don't want to rule it out. It's that thing where history doesn't always repeat, but it rhymes. But there's one or two things going on here with Elliott wave theory. This is wave one, or this is all of wave one. So if this is wave one, we really can't drop below about $2,900. That's the very top. That's just the way the rules are, but I'm not going to get into that tonight, which falls in line with this 50 moving average. So I really think there's hope. If we break out of this, guys, your next stop's 57 to 7,100. And if Bitcoin's going to 150 or 200,000, I can expect Ethereum to go to 8 to 10,000 realistically as well. All right, that wraps it up for tonight. I know it was in depth. I know I talked a lot, but I really feel like we're at a critical point in the next 24 to 48 hours where these coins are going to make a decision if we're going up from here or if we've got some more significant downside. So I want you to pay close attention. I'm not trading a lot here. I really want to solidify these moves because either way, there's a big move coming and I want to jump on it. I do post all these charts in the crypto school. You can check the link in my description on my profile to find that. There's also tons of other videos. I do these shorts throughout the day that have been working out really well. But yeah, kind of think about that. And you got to keep in mind, guys, when I take trades, capital preservation is everything. So if I've got an account, I trade 1% every trade. That gives me 100 trades to get it wrong. But my win rate is better than that. So when I hit one and we're looking for these big trades, your bag grows exponentially. So that's kind of where I'm at with these. I don't want you to just ape in 30% of your bag, 50% of your bag, especially on a trade that I post in the crypto school, because that's the way I trade. I'm okay with a loss. I'm okay with 1 or 2 losses because I know I'm going to make it up. So sometimes I take a trade where it might be a little risky, but I'm not worried about it because if it works out, I'm going to make money. If not, I've got plenty of money and plenty of opportunity to get that money back. So I'm going to wrap that up with that. I feel like that's some pretty good advice for risk management, capital preservation. You know, like I've told you guys, Rome wasn't built in a day. And if you're in a hurry to make $1 million, it's going to be a lot harder than if you're just patient, stick to your rules, stay the course, and compound those gains over time. And that's what I try to do here. And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. But yeah, so that wraps us up for the night. I think I've said enough. I've given you guys some pretty good descriptions on how I trade, and hopefully you took something away from that. But I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm Chris Hare, the Crypto Cowboy. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you down the road.